Hello everybody, it's me, Riffraff Hornhelm, and I'm back again with another presentation from the Dwarven Vault, and today we have a monster review. Today we're going to talk about the Crocodile. And the Crocodile is as shown in the original monster manual for use with Dungeons & Dragons, basic Dungeons & Dragons, advanced Dungeons & Dragons, what we call typically 1E today. Once again, the old stuff. And this is a mundane creature, one of the roughly 100 plus entries of mundane creatures in the original monster manual, roughly about a third, and is a interesting little creature. Well, not little. Regular crocodile is up to about 15 feet long, and technically, in today's world, we know they can get larger than that. And then the giant crocodile starts at 20 feet and gets bigger. Now, they are a regular crocodile is 3 hit dice, a giant crocodile is 7 hit dice. It's armor class 5 for the regular crocodile and an armor class 4 for the giant crocodile. I guess it's just thicker skinned at that point. And they're ambush predators. So typically you're going to have them lying in wait, maybe with just their eyes exposed or something like that. You know, pretty much like you see on things about crocodiles. It's pretty straightforward. And what is it? On a 6-sided dice, if on a roll of 1 to 3, they surprise you. Pretty nasty. Now they have 2 types of attacks. One is the bite, and the second one is never specified. It is through my connections with early days people that I was told that this was a tail attack, not a death roll. I thought maybe it was a death roll. But that's what I was told. So the damage that these creatures do is 2 to 8 or 1 to 12. Now you can figure out which is which. I'm going to go with the bite being 1 to 12 and the tail being 2 to 8. I could be wrong. And of course that's for the regular crocodile. For the giant crocodile, it's, 3 to 18 and 2 to 20. Once again, I think the larger damage would be from the bite and lesser from the tail. They're not going to be a difficult encounter. They're stupid. They're animals. They're voracious, aggressive, and hungry all the time. If you get within striking distance of a crocodile, you're almost guaranteed a reaction. It's whether or not you spot it before it happens. Giant crocodiles, that's a little bit different. In the book, it says that that would really only exist if it was a prehistoric setting. Okay. That goes out the window right away because as a dungeon master, you can do whatever the hell you want. And I've used giant crocodiles and regular crocodiles, and I have added additional abilities. I like crocodiles. As an ambush predator, it gets people's pulses racing very quickly when they know that they've been jumped at by a giant crocodile. It's fun. Now, in real terms, in terms of us dwarves, I mean, do we run into crocodiles? Well, hell no. They don't hang out in the kinds of places that we go. And in fact, when we go places that we're not familiar with, I've heard of a few dwarves being victimized by crocodiles because they didn't know what they were going to do. They didn't know what to expect. It makes some sense to me, unfortunately, but it's what happens. Now, crocodiles can add a wealth of fun into a riverine type adventure. Any type of going through jungles, this kind of stuff where there's lots of water. I think they can add some fun stuff to it, and it's just a very regular creature. It's not magical. It doesn't have any magic resistance, special resistance to weapons. Very easy to put in wherever you want, and from a player standpoint, very easy to defend against because at least they take damage, right? Now, even though us dwarves don't run into these very often, in the gaming world it's a little bit different, so we went out to the greater Hornhelm community and asked the DMs and players, well, what about the crocodile? So the DMs on the dwarven side came back and talked about this creature and said, well, yes, it's a crocodile, the regular crocodile. That's like 2.5 to 3, maybe. And mainly because they do a fair amount of damage and they're so very good at ambushing their victims. Giant crocodile, they came back and said, yeah, that's probably more like a 4.5. I'm not going to argue with either of those. I think that the giant crocodile can be more than 4.5, but it also could be less. Depends on the circumstances. Talking to the players, though, they came back and they said, well, the regular crocodile, solid 3. They'd been ambushed too many times. Now, on the giant crocodile, the players came back and said, that's more like a 5. They were talking about 25, 30 foot long crocodiles that were, kind of like tanks and unstoppable and chasing the creatures around them. If you were a player character near them when they went nutsoid, it could be dangerous. But I think that was overrated. That's my personal opinion. Crocodiles are fun, easy to put in, relatively easy to slay, so it's fun for the party, and adds a little bit to your dungeon. Not a bad creature, but don't overrate him. So that, my friends, is the crocodile, giant and otherwise. If you enjoyed today's presentation, please be so kind as to give us a like. Consider subscribing if you haven't. Share it with your friends. Leave us a comment. But most of all, come back and see us again real soon. We very much appreciate your kind support. Take care, everyone, and remember, dwarves rock!